Hi everyone and welcome back to Liz Sews. Today is my favorite time of the month, and that is sharing with you my monthly makes. So originally the plan for the month of August was a rainbow themed month, and certainly I did make all of the items that I had in my plans video, so stay tuned to see those. But because it was Bragust on Instagram, I also ended up making a lot more bras than I had originally planned, just because there were a lot of prompts that I was interested in and wanted to participate in. So I've tried to sort of organize everything into that rainbow color theme, but you'll see that it's a lot more than I had originally anticipated. So first up, I have an Axis tank. This is the Sophie Hines Axis tank pattern in this like light pink cupcakey, I think it's called cupcake frosting, ribbed knit from TaylorMade Shop. And I really like this, though I think I sort of like stretched out the bottom on this a little bit. So I'm gonna go in and take the bottom off of this, the bottom band, and probably do something else there, maybe some elastic or maybe just some more fabric. I really loved this color against my skin tone, so I went ahead and bought another yard of this fabric, and I think I'm gonna do a one-piece swimsuit in that next month. So next up in that sort of pink red category, I have a ruby bra. Of course, we're going to look at this a little bit closer up, but this is utilizing a stretch velvet that I purchased from Emerald Erin, and I really like how this turned out. So that's the top, and then I made some matching like boy short bottoms to go with it. So let's take a little bit closer look at this down on the sewing table. So this is a little bit closer look at that ruby bra using the Winterberry crushed velvet from Emerald Erin's shop. So when I was cutting this out, I did try to pay close attention to the direction of the nap on this, because I wanted to make sure that it had a smooth feel as you're going down the cup. And for this one, it is rather rough going up. And the reason that you want the roughness going up and not to either side of the cup is that I made a bodysuit once out of velvet, and I had the nap going towards the side. And what happened as it sort of worked like a grip. And so if you have shirts over top of this, everything would start shifting this way because it's gripping as it's working against that nap. So it's one thing that you want to be paying close attention to. So this is the ruby bra as drafted. It does have this really nice little gothic arch here, and on the inside of it I have used foam cup lining, and I did something a little bit different this time in that I used some tricot seam binding tape to cover up all of my seams on my foam cup, and I really like how that worked out. I did have a little bit of an oopsie on here. I noticed I had cut into the foam, sort of an errant cut in the middle of the cut piece, so I used some satin stitches there to sort of cover that up. But other than that, it looks pretty good. So here you can see that gothic arch from the inside of the bra. So the bra makers supply, or Pinup Girls, tends to always have these frames that are really wide and then curve up around the wire itself. So when you're looking at the flat pattern, it has a straight line here along the bottom of the pattern, and that it's the wire that curves it up and around. I don't particularly like how this lays on me. So it looks perfectly fine when it's sitting on the table, but when I'm wearing it, I tend to get some wrinkles up in here where there's just some weird stuff happening. So I think what I'm going to do is go back to my self-drafted frame whenever I'm using any of these ruby or amethyst cup pieces. So you can always take the cup and just drop it into whatever frame you like. And I just don't think this frame works for me, and that's perfectly fine. So for the bottoms, I've done a pair of self-drafted boy shorts. I don't particularly wear a lot of boy shorts, but I thought it for some reason worked in my head with this set. Please don't ask for a tutorial on this. It was based off of the Craftsy or Blueprint classes done by Beverly Johnson, and so I would recommend going on to her or buying those classes if you want to learn how to self-draft these boy shorts. It didn't work particularly well for me. I even increased my gusset length to 6 inches. The original pattern, she suggests 3 inches on the gusset, so I doubled the length of my gusset, and I am still having some major wedgie issues here and some camel toe because of this center seam. So not something I think I will ever do again, but fun to try and just try different new styles. Next, I have the bra that I had intended to make for the red category, and this one is a Black Beauty bra using a kit that I purchased from Emerald Erin. So let's get a closer look at this one as well. Here we can see a little bit closer up on this bra. So I went back and forth quite a bit about whether to use black or latte findings with this lace. So I purchased black to go with it, and then when I saw the lace I was thinking latte looked a little bit better, but eventually I went back with black, and I'm really glad that I did because I think it sort of sets off that red color a little bit better and looks really good with these gold accents on the lace. So I've just done a straight black beauty pattern, of course with my adjustments for size, but no other modifications other than that. So red lace on the outside, and then on the inside I do have just black sheer cup lining, which I don't think came with the kit. I might have added that extra. On the upper cut piece here, I did my same finish that I always love doing, and that is a folded upper cup edge. So you can see it's just one folded piece of fabric. That way I don't have to finish this edge at all. Sometimes I might tack this in along the bottom of the scallops, but it doesn't bother me. So I just leave it the way that it is. So here it is on the outside, the inside all black, and then that beautiful sort of red crimson lace on the outside. So I only have one item in this orange category, and that is this Bravo Bella swim #1 suit. I'll put up a picture of the pattern over here. And of course, we'll get a closer look at this as well. So for this swimsuit, it's sort of the same swimsuit I've been making all summer. I just really enjoy this one-piece style, so I'm going to continue making them. Sorry, not sorry. I did something a little bit different with this guy in that I lined it with some micro mesh instead of swimwear lining. I wanted to see what the micro mesh would look like, and it actually gives it a little bit more sucky-iness. It sort of feels like a Spanx. It does a very good job of sort of like smoothing everything out and feeling a little bit more like shapewear, but I think for ultimate comfort, I prefer swimwear lining in this. But it was a good experiment to try. So I went with yellow because I have a lot of this yellow left over and I just never use it anywhere. So yellow on the inside with, of course, the foam cups placed where I need them for myself. And then this lovely sort of like ribbed knit fabric on the outside. So I used quite a wide swimwear elastic with this one, and I ended up doing 2 rows of stitches just because I felt like I wasn't capturing enough, and that helps it lie a little bit flatter. I'd love to be able to use my cover stitch machine to do the stitches on here. I just don't have a whole lot of thread that matches anything on my cover stitch, so that's why I still kept with the zigzag stitches, you know, along the neckline and the legs. But yeah, quite successful. This one does make me feel really skinny because it sort of sucks in, but I think on the next one I will go back to using swimwear lining, but it was a nice experiment just to try it out. For the yellow category, I was really excited to sew up this sort of like mustard yellow lace that I purchased from Beware, and then I have matching findings that I dyed myself using the color Golden Ochre from Jacquard Acid Dyes. So here is the bra, and then of course I have some matching underwear to go with it. So let's take a closer look at these. So for my yellow Black Beauty bra, I've done pretty much a standard Black Beauty pattern. The only difference is I've changed the way that the power bar is cut so that I can use the scalloped edge of the lace on here, and I have just the stretch lace by itself, nothing behind it, because I don't really like a power bar that has any oomph to it. So if you guys, I think I have a video up on my channel about how to change the power bar to use a scalloped edge of lace, and I will try to link it up here if I can remember. So this is the outside, all lace all the time, and then of course all of my self-dyed findings. So the power net, the straps, the hooks and eyes, all of this has been self-dyed to match using the Golden Ochre colorway from Dharma Trading, and I really love how it turned out. I did use a 4-high hook and eye just to see how it goes. I don't particularly like it. I think my preference is still for 3-high, but you know, every now and then I like to change things up just to see. I bought about 10 of these, so you'll see them quite frequently in the bras that are coming up in the future. So to go along with that bra, I did make a pair of underwear, and this is using my self-drafted pattern. I had to get a little bit creative on this one with the lace placement. So I had 1 yard of lace in order to make these underwear. And I wanted something a little bit higher. So what I've done in the back, you can see this was the width of the lace, and it wasn't quite enough for me to have at an angle along the butt cheeks and still cover up in the waist the way I wanted. So I did insert this little panel of micro lycra in there just so that I could have a high-waisted panty style that I like. So I cut these out, and then seamed them up the back, and then I laid them over top of the micro lycra and did some zigzag stitches along the edges here and then cut away the excess. And here's what it looks like from the inside. I did 2 rows of zigzag stitches just to make sure it was fully secured in there, and that's how I did the back of the panties. And then for the front of the panties, it is a solid piece of micro lycra, and then I just did this lace sort of like overlapping in the front as an overlay on top of there. So not really attached except at the waistline and the side seams here. So for this one, the lycra as well as the fold-over elastics were dyed in acid dyes as well, so that I got a nice tonal matchy bra. And I believe this one went for the matching set day of Bragust, and so that was, I really wanted something that was like all yellow all the time, and I think this really satisfied that craving that I had for a yellow set. So next up we have the green, and of course I am wearing my green garment right now, and that is Simplicity 9052. So this is a Mimi G style pattern. This is the, I mean, I've sewn a couple of her patterns. The first couple ones I made I was really disappointed with, but this one worked out really well, as did the men's shirt I sewed a couple months ago. So I've been really happy with these patterns. I have purchased a lot of the Mimi G style patterns just because I really sort of like that aesthetic. But yeah, so this is a unisex coat, and I think that I went ahead and sewed a medium in this. Yeah, and a medium says it's for chest between 38 and 40 inches, which is dead center of where I sit. I quite like the way that it fits on me. It does have a drawstring at the waist, so that sort of like gives you that defined waist, even though it's a little bit of an oversized look. I certainly probably could have gotten away with a size small, but I kind of like how this looks. So this pattern was a lot of fun to sew. It's unlined, so that made it a little bit faster, but there's lots of interesting details. It's a little bit harder for me to do a closer look in on this one just because of the size of the garment, but I'll try to pop up some pictures as I'm talking about different things. So some interesting details on this coat are the zip removable hood, which zips on and off. I really like how that turned out. I like how it has like the button flap, so it has used a two-way zipper on it, and then it has a button flap that goes over top of that as well to cover up the zipper. I think that looks really nice. 4 pockets on here, nice big long. It also has functional wrist tabs, so obviously they can do standard size, or it comes in a little bit tighter if you need it tighter on the wrist like that. So I do like that those are functional. The shoulder sort of vents are not functional, but I think they look really cool. So yeah, really excited with this. I love how it turns out. It's very like slouchy, comfortable sort of jacket just to throw on. I am sweltering right now because it's about 90 degrees here, but really like this, and I think I'll get a lot of wear out of it this fall. The second thing that I sewed up that was green this month is this Sydney Crossbody Bag. Now this project was sponsored by My Handmade Space, and I do have a video sort of like vlog style while I'm making this. So if you're interested, in seeing that, you can just check it out over here. Really excited with how this turned out. Again, something that I can see myself using quite frequently. I did supplement with a little bit of cork on here, and I just think it works really well. It's like a nice size. I can definitely fit in everything that I want in here. It probably could fit in, you know, like an iPad or something like that. So that is the Swoon Sydney Crossbody Bag. So after that we have blue, and I definitely have a lot of blue things that I've sewn up this month. So first up we have the Ariel Bra using the Porcelain's new Ariel cup pattern. Of course we're going to go in for this on a little bit closer look. So on the Ariel Bra, you can see here that I've gone with the demi wire, so it's a much shorter bridge because the wire stops a little bit shorter. And it's a 3-piece cup, sort of like horizontal seamed. And I've gone with blue at the bottom, and then sort of like this dark teal, a medium turquoise, and then a sky blue. These were all Duoplex pieces that were sort of left over from different kits. I believe this blue and this middle sort of turquoisey color came from Emerald Erin. I'm pretty sure this teal one came from Beware, and then this came from Bra Maker's Supply. So I tried to match the straps to the upper cup fabric, and then the elastic So the elastic on the upper band here matches the blue, and then I used navy blue along the bottom as well. And for the chain link, because I wanted sort of like that ombre effect, and I really like how it turned out. Because this is a Duoplex fabric, I didn't have to line it, so I do have all of these sort of exposed seam allowances on here. It doesn't really bother me, but you could certainly line this if you wanted to. And then I have that matching navy blue power net in the back, and I think this might just be turquoise from Bra Maker's Supply that I've used on the hook and eye, just because that's what I had laying around that sort of matched this color story. Really liked how this turned out. It definitely looks like a mermaid Ariel bra to me. Really enjoyed this pattern, and I definitely think I'll be sewing it up again in the near future. So I did a poll last month on my plans video asking which blue project you wanted to see done, and pretty much overwhelmingly you guys selected this hydrangea lace from the TaylorMade shop. So of course I made it, but don't worry because I made up the other bra as well. And so again, we'll go in for a little bit closer look on this, which is the Berkeley bra pattern from Orange Lingerie. So here we have a closer look at this Berkeley bra here. I wasn't able to mirror this lace just because it was a one-sided, one direction lace, but I tried to get it sort of close by making sure that I kept large flowers in similar places along the upper cup here, and splitting a white flower down here because there is a seam that runs down the center front of this bridge. And so it has the effect of being mirrored even though it isn't exactly mirrored. I just think this bra is so pretty. I love the way that the Berkeley bra sews up, and I think these sky findings from Bra Builders worked really well with this color lace. So from the inside of the bra, you can see I have sky all along the back here. I did end up using, I think I used white sheer cup lining along the cups. I had some beige power nets that were, or power bars that had already been cut out that I forgot to put in another bra. So I just put them into here. Sometimes I will do that. I'll forget to put the power bar in, and instead of like unpegging everything, I'll just shove them in the pattern bag. And then the next time that I use the pattern, I will pull out that piece and try to reuse it. For the frame, I ended up using sort of a darker blue. I think this might be River from Bra Builder. It's a little bit darker a blue, and you can tell from the front of a bra that the frame looks a little richer blue color than the cups, but I think that kind of looks sort of cool. And then of course you do have that Gothic arch with the Berkeley bra pattern, which is so pretty and lovely, and I think just makes the inside of the bra look so nice. I didn't have quite enough material to do my folded upper edge, which I normally do. So on this one, I have gone in with skinny elastic and used a zigzag stitch to just put it into place. The embroidery portion on the top of this lace is pretty dense, so you don't really see that elastic from the outside. So that's generally my litmus test of whether or not I want skinny elastic or not, is if the stitching will show up on the lace. So yeah, not much to say. I mean, this is a pattern that I've made numerous times, but it's really, really pretty, and I love the soft, really pretty blue colorways in it. So the other blue pattern that I had up in the poll is this sort of like cotton candy unicorn lace that came from Bra Builders. I believe she calls this one Morning Sunrise. So I really, really adore this lace. So I was excited I kind of wanted to sew it, even though it wasn't the one that everybody picked. And I'm really happy with the results. So let's go in for a closer look. So for this bra, I have taken the Black Beauty pattern, which is a horizontal two-piece cup, and I've changed it into a diagonal two-piece cup. So let me know if you guys are interested in how to like convert something from a horizontal seam to a diagonal seam, because I had a lot of fun doing it. And it actually worked pretty well. This was the first bra I made using that altered pattern, and it fit really well. I didn't have to make any additional changes to it. And I think that probably has to do something with the fact that like the Black Beauty pattern already fit me really well. So just like moving fabric from one side to another doesn't really change the fit at all. So for this one, it is the Morning Sunrise kit from Bra Builders. So it has the sky sort of fabrics on here. Sheer cup lining for the side of the bridge, and then I went with the actual lace itself for the bridge here, and then the cups. And I chose to pull out just a pink, a blushy pink
hook and eye because I had run out of I used my last sky hook and eye over here. So I went with pink because I thought it sort of like worked with the colors that are in the lace and it doesn't look too asynchronous to me. And then from the inside, you know, sort of standard for my bras, sheer cup lining. I think this is just one layer of sheer cup lining on the frame, one layer of sheer cup lining and lace. So sheer cup lining and lace on both the bridge and the cup pieces with a folded upper cup here. Yeah, so folded upper cup, so I didn't have to finish it at all.
There was a little bit of a hot take issue last month where I said that both indigo and violet in my eyes were both purple. A lot of you guys thought that indigo was a blue color. So I don't know if it's just the way that I see colors differently. I looked it up on Pantone and this is what it says that indigo is. And to me, this is a shade of purple. But obviously if you guys see something different, that is completely fine. So I made this bra to slot into my indigo spot, and this one is actually made for the Neon Day on for Bragust. So for this one, I've used the Marlboro Bra pattern, and then I have all of the fabrics that I've dyed myself. I used Dharma Purple Pop for the main color, and then Dharma Chartreuse for the accent color on this. So let's get a little bit closer look.
So here you can see the Marlboro Bra with the sort of like seamed in parabar where it is part of the cup itself, not a separate piece. I really like the contrast of this sort of like fluorescent purple against this shocking chartreuse. It sort of looks like a Halloween bra, but I kind of really love it. I will say that the purple pop dye was particularly hard to work with. I did not get dye exhaustion with this. It has a bunch, it breaks really easily, so there's a bunch of pink still left in the dye water, and I ended up having to rinse several times just to get all of that excess dye running clear from it. I did have to re-dye. I dyed these straps and I think the hook and eye twice because the first time through it didn't really capture a lot of dye, and so I did it a second time to get a little bit more saturated of a color. So like if you look at the tips of the underwire channeling here, you can see how it breaks. It broke into this really vibrant sort of pink color. And so when I cut into the underwire channeling, you saw that vibrant pink color, which is kind of an interesting thing to see. So the cups themselves are micro Duoplex, and I did line all of this. I think I lined this in, this color is Royalty from Bra Builders, and this color is Limeade from Bra Builders. I just have them shuffling around in my stash, even though this is as micro Duoplex, it doesn't really need to be lined because it is a pretty sturdy, stable fabric, but I just did it because I liked cleaner insides that it gave me. So yeah, pretty happy with how this bra turned out. And I mean, it's definitely a funky bra. It's not one that can be easily worn underneath clothing, but I think every now and then it's fun to have some fun and funky pieces in your collection.
And then finally, the bra that I intended to make for purple is using this Regency kit from Bra Builders, and I've made a Black Beauty bra out of this. So let's get a little bit closer look. So for this bra, it is the Black Beauty bra from Emerald Erin, and I've just left out the power bar. So I attached the strap just by having some sort of extra strap elastic here on the bottom. I leave myself a little tail that I can loop around my ring and attach my strap to on the end. So on this one, I did have to do a little bit of fussy cutting. So when I get these kits, I make a sample for Bra Builders and I send it back to them, and then I just get to keep whatever's left over. So ideally, I would have liked to have had the embroidery sort of focused along the whole top of the bra, but unfortunately, I didn't have enough lace to cut it out that way. So I did have to flip-flop my bridge so that the embroidery was on the bottom of the bridge. It's not exactly how I would have liked it to be in a perfect world, but I still think it looks really, really pretty. And it has such a nice, lovely, soft purple color to it, which I think is gorgeous. This color I think is called Amethyst. It is a special color, so it's not one of the ones that are on her normal docket of colors that she has available. So for this one, just like most bras, I have sheer cup lining on the inside with a folded upper cup. Just my standard finish on these. And I really like how the purple looks in here. So
Nice, pretty, simple bra. Went together really fast, and I'm glad that I finally get to have one of these in my collection instead of just remembering the one that I made for somebody else. So I hope you guys have enjoyed all of the things that I've made in the month of August, and I will see you guys next time. Take care.